in the state of Georgia. So not a lot of distance between these two programs and a lot of familiarity between them. If we're talking keys to victory first, let's talk about Carrollton. In my opinion, hey, you have to know that you're up for this moment. You are a very young football team. 5 underclassmen starting tonight. 10 other underclassmen on the 2-deep. So a really young football team, but you have to be ready and willing and up for this moment tonight against a really good Rome football team. The second one I got for you, you have got to keep Julian Lewis upright. #1 player in the 2026 class here, playing quarterback for Carrollton tonight, a true freshman. Going to have to keep number 91, Stefan Green, off of him and off the turf. And as for Rome High School, Colin, honestly, I watched them practice this week. They are a football team that is worried about their process and their process only. So tonight, they got to play their game, be Rome High, be a fast, physical football team, and just execute.
And we are underway. Kickoff down the field. Taking it at the 5, up to the 15, 25, 30, getting to the outside, makes it up near the 40-yard line. That is a great return.
Yeah, that's the junior Bryce 6. We do have a flag on the play. I was talking to Coach Joey King this week. You know, everyone talks about Julian Lewis, right? The 2026 quarterback that plays here. Everyone knows dozens and dozens of offers already before he even stepped on the field. But Coach King told me.
Hold it. All right, now you just hit the camera 2. So we're holding on this one. We're holding for 10 seconds. Follow.
Looked like we had a block in the back.
36-yard line.
I think they called a wedge block right there on Carrollton.
15-yard penalty either way, and so that's going to move the Trojans back. And yes, you talked about Hicks. Hicks, not as many offers as Julian Lewis. Hicks does have an offer from Liberty, not a bad school. Expect him to get more offers, only a junior. But yeah, Lewis pretty much has his pick of the litter.
Yeah, and he will. And it'll be a long time before he makes his decision, I would imagine, as they motion Hicks out and get him the ball.
And that goes to Hicks to the far side, trying to make a man miss, gets it up to the 25-yard line.
The key player for Carrollton tonight in their screen game, working like that. They don't want to do a whole bunch in between the tackles because of how dominant Stefan Green is. But if they're going to have success out on the edge, it's going to be because tight end Jordan White, the junior, number 87, you see him lined up in the slot right now. It's because he is doing the majority of the blocking out on the edge. Did a great job there as you see him coming in motion.
And there's the snap. Handoff. Nope, not a handoff. Faked the handoff, took it himself. That was Lewis. Got the first down. It'd be 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as his career progresses just how much more Julian becomes a threat in the run game. Right now, much more known for his ability to throw it, but he can run the ball. As you see Hicks motion to his left.
And we got trips to the near side, and that's going to be a screen pass there to Childs. And that is out to the 45. That's Seth
Childers right there. You see Carrollton playing with a good bit of pace right now, and they're really attacking the edges. Nothing in between the tackles right now. They've ran Julian Lewis off the edge, and 2 quick passes to the outside trying to stretch this Rome defense. And again, stay away from 91 tonight. He's one of the best defensive tackles players in the country.
And there's the handoff up to the inside. That was Jamon Evans, I believe, who took the handoff.
Yeah, big Tyson Brown there on the tackle, the defensive end opposite of Stefan Green. He'll be playing that defensive end role pretty much by himself. You'll see Rome play a 3-4, but they'll really play 4 down linemen unless it's 2nd or 3rd and long like it is right now, and they'll play that 3 down look that you're taking a look at.
And you mentioned Stefan Green. He is going to Clemson, so keep an eye on there on the inside, and that is taken by Lewis. Lewis underneath there to Evans. Evans gets his 2nd touch of the game, and that will be enough for a 1st down.
You know, Colin, it was interesting to me when I was talking to Coach King this week and watching them practice. This is a freshman quarterback, but they're asking him to do a lot. They are not huddling. They're motioning or signaling everything in from the sideline. They're playing a multiple look, a lot of motions, a lot of pre-snap looks, and a lot of identification from a young quarterback, and he's handled all of it.
And they are certainly moving fast, and that is a slant over the middle. I believe that was Jordan White. who made the catch.
Even that play right there, Colin, you see him process the swing pass into the flat, didn't like it, immediately comes back to his second read, which was the tight end on the slant right there. Excellent job of processing information and getting the ball out on time.
And that is enough for a first down. Jordan White did not play in the last game against South Paulding, had 4 touchdowns against Gadsden City, and that is a handoff up the middle to Hicks, back to Hicks on that for a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, Colin, Jordan White is a junior tight end that's now a 2-year starter here at Carrollton. This offseason really did a great job at developing his body further in the weight room. No excuses here at Carrollton. You got access to some of the best facilities in the country, and he certainly used them this season.
Shotgun to Lewis, and that is a pass to the outside. That's Childers again, and he's going to be close to a first down right at the sticks.
It's only his 3rd high school start, but just small things like that from Julian Lewis, reading and counting the box, right, and immediately pulling the run look and getting it out to his playmaker outside with the defender in his face, changing the arm angle. I'm highly impressed just on this first drive.
And we got 4 receivers, 2 on each side, with Hicks in the backfield. Lewis, I mean, you said it. Look at Lewis directing traffic here, only a freshman, but he is well above his years. And that is a throw over the middle, strike right there to Jordan White, and it is goal to go for the Trojans.
It's important when running slant routes like that as a quarterback to wait for the proper window when you're playing against zone coverage. Julian Lewis doing a great job of allowing his tight end to clear that first window into that second window and then putting that ball right on the numbers. Impossible for his tight end to do anything other than catch that football.
So first drive of the game, they are at the 5, 1st and goal for the Trojans. Hicks in the backfield, and we have a flag.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to get a false start on Carrollton.
Yes,
and so that'll back them up.
And I wanted to mention, I mean, this you see this drive, it's a lot of underneath stuff, and as great as Lewis is, his long on the season is 34 yards. And that's not any
touchdown
knock on Lewis. Touchdown, 34-yard touchdown pass. But Lewis, you see a lot of talented kids try to force balls downfield. That is not Lewis. He is smart enough to take what's given to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you try to dial up pressure on him, he knows his hots, too. He's a very in-depth quarterback at the young age.
Faking the handoff, and that is out to that was a pass.
Jordan
White, yes.
For a
had
touchdown
to get
there.
The number, but that was...
I loved the action there from the offense. A heavy play action look from Julian Lewis, rode the running back down hard, and then pulled it out and immediately got it into his tight end's hands on a nice little arrow route into the flat. And then White does the rest after the catch. About an 8-yard run after the catch, and he barrels through 2 defenders right there at the goal line. An inspired score from Jordan White as Carrollton goes on top, 6-0, point after attempt pending.
And the point after attempt is good.
No good.
Pardon me. That, I believe,
just pushed it right.
That was the first missed PAT there by the kicker, Russell. And the 7-minute and 30-second drive.
I cannot express how important that drive was and how rare that drive is to this point in the season for this Rome High School defense. Rome has only given up 5 red zone possessions all year to date. So through 3 games, they've only allowed 5 possessions in the red zone, that being the 6th, and only the 2nd touchdown that's been scored against this Rome defense. And Carrollton did it on the opening possession. So hats off to the quarterback, hats off to the offense as well as executing. But hats off to the offensive coordinator designing a fantastic opening script right there, borderline flawless as they march it down the field. And even, got over a few penalties, got over a false start penalty right there in the red zone. A great opening drive for the Carrollton Trojans.
I mean, all that false start penalty did was turn a 5-yard touchdown pass into a 10-yard touchdown pass. Really didn't make any difference. Definitely a statement made early here for Carrollton, and we'll see how Rome responds. Here's the kickoff from Perez, their kickoff specialist, up in the air, and that is going to be a touchback. Almost out of the back of the end zone, in the air, bounces out, and the Wolves will start at the 25.
All right, we're going to get our first look at Reese Fontaine, 2024 quarterback out of Rome High School. Colin, we've done 3 games now. You and I have done 2. In 3 weeks here on 11 Alive, if you've been with us every single week, you have seen nothing but Division I quarterbacks. We had R.J. Johnson, Malachi Singleton. Last week, I'm drawing a blank. We had Dylan Lonergan and Jeremy Huklinski. This week, we got Reese Fontaine and Julian Lewis. A bunch of studs playing signal caller.
And Fontaine throws the pitch there that was to Jaden Harmon going to the outside.
For Rome High School. Okay, something you need to know about Rome. They got about 4 or maybe 5 Division I players on the field right now. Number 12, Martavius Collins is a 2024 tight end committed to Alabama. The quarterback, we've already told you about, Reese Fontaine. The running back right there, the sophomore, Jaden Harmon, he's got Power 5 offers. Number 4, going in motion right now, Martell Height. He's got Power 5 offers committed to Vanderbilt.
And that's the fake to Height. Fontaine takes it himself for the first down. And that's the thing you need after seeing the touchdown drive. The most important first down is that first down. You don't want to give it back to Carrollton on the 3 and out. So good job by Fontaine in the offense.
Reese Fountain has been starting here at Rome High School since his freshman year. And this, per the Rome coaching staff, is really the first year that they've allowed him to run. He's actually a weapon with his legs. Martavius Collins, look out.
And that was a open rusher there. That was Michael Braden, who came unblocked, probably affected the throw there by Fountain. Fountain missed his receiver, Collins, on that one. It'll be second and 10.
Collins just trying to run a corner route right there. He was an attached tight end, the only receiver on that side of the field. Had got plenty of worth of field to work with, just couldn't quite come up with the reception as Fountain just overthrows him just a little bit.
Fountain in the shotgun. Harmon behind him. The handoff is to Harmon. Harmon goes to the far side, and a ball looks to be out. Nope, ref is calling him down. 4-yard gain on that.
I'll tell you what, the line judge on the far side, nobody had a better look at it than him, and he immediately was pointing to the ground. So if anyone's got a confident call, it's the line judge on the far side there. So most likely an accurate call, as Fountain and this Rome offense will be facing about a third and about 6.5 is what we'll call that.
Yeah, third and, as you said, let's just call it 6.
Looks like Carrollton dialing up a little bit of pressure here. Fountain checking it right now.
Fountain has Harmon in the backfield, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near, and that is going down the sideline. Unable to jump up and make the catch was DeKaylin Daniel, and we'll see what the flag is.
I see a bunch of Carrollton body language that indicates this might be a pass interference called on Carrollton. Let's wait and see what it might be.
And it is on Carrollton.
I'll tell you what, Colin, that's a great job by Fountain identifying, hey, they're dialing up pressure. I got a walk to look, 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. I've only got 6 to block them. Let's get the ball out as fast as possible.
Penalty was, I got the block in the back signal by the referee, but I don't think you can do that on defense. So either I missed the signal or the ref.
Maybe they call it defensive holding because it was only a 10-yard penalty, and a play like that where people are trying to capture the edge and move up to the second level, perhaps a Carrollton defender might have dragged an offensive lineman from Rome down. That is a defensive hold. Believe it or not, they will call that.
Let's go with that, defensive holding. So it's now a first down. Unfound takes the snap. Screen pass there to Bray. Bray gets a gain of about 4. Actually going to call that 3 for Will Bray.
3 yards on that. 2nd and 7. Remember, Bray had a huge long touchdown catch against Lithonia last week. Great catch there for the
So what do you think of Rome's response so far, bringing it down to the 35-yard line?
So far they've gotten helped out with the yellow handkerchief on the field. So, they've sustained somewhat of a drive right here. They've done a good job of not kicking their own selves in the foot.
And we got trips to the near side. Fountain takes it, screen out to Harmon, and Harmon's going to get another 3 yards on that, so it will be 3rd and about 4.
It's kind of my job to identify Power 5 football players. Jaden Harmon moves like a Power 5 running back. If you're watching tonight, that's what they look like. If you want to know, hey, what does a Division I SEC running back move like when they're a sophomore in high school, just watch Mr. Harmon tonight. He's the definition of one.
And now subbing out for Harmon is Chance Arthur. Arthur in the backfield, and that's going to be faking the handoff. And I don't think Fountain got there. No, not even close.
So it'll be 4th down, but based off that offensive play call, Reese Fountain's helmet coming off might change these decisions here. You might have to go with the punt team, or you burn a timeout.
I was going to say at first half,
4th and 4 right here. They're probably going to line up in what looks like an option pistol formation with Martell Height at quarterback. But this is how they punt in the middle of the field. You will see Martell Height come to the line of scrimmage. He's going to call a play. They will probably freeze right here based off what I saw during practice. They will downset Hut. He'll clap. They snap the ball and running a play.
And Height takes it, and he's going to throw.
Wow.
And off target there, intended. Hicks, and Hicks is able to go back his way into a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8.
To me, Colin, the game plan from Carrollton's very, very obvious. Play fast, play out on the edges, and don't let Rome get settled. If we have to run the ball in between the tackles, it's just to keep them honest. The game plan has been passes outside the tackles, tunnels, bubbles, counters off tackle, everything away from 91 in Stephilan Green right now, and they have stacked 2 solid possessions.
And we got 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Hicks in the backfield. Lewis takes it, stepping up into the pocket, and he's finding an open receiver. That is a touchdown for Lipscomb. It is now 13-0 in favor of the Trojans. pending the extra point.
That's Takari Lipscomb, the Arkansas State commit, and I can't tell you, man. I've seen Julian Lewis since he's 11, 12 years old throw the football. This is my first opportunity to come out here and watch him play on a Friday nights against a really, really good defense, probably one of the better defenses in the state of Georgia, and he is slap carving these dudes up right now.
Rome on the season has allowed 6 total points in 2 games.
And they've allowed 2 touchdowns on 2 consecutive possessions here for Carrollton High School.
That was about as good of a play I've seen out of a high school quarterback, and this kid Lewis is only a freshman. He is as advertised.
I mean, you can watch all night tonight. You won't see him double tap the ball. You won't see him have frantic feet in the pocket. You won't see him look like he's out of control, which is something I mean, we've seen 3 high school games so far at this point in the season. We've seen really, really good football players at the quarterback position, and every point in the game, I felt like we've watched older football players maybe, hey, we didn't get everybody lined up correctly, or hey, we took a false start and we didn't necessarily need to, or hey, we had to call a timeout because we were about to get a delay of game. We haven't seen anything like that operationally from Carrollton so far. Just a really well-oiled machine led by a true freshman quarterback.
I mean, and just the last touchdown play.
The top camera's back on, so she's
Downfield, doesn't take off and run, and finds Lipscomb open in the near corner for the touchdown. Extra point is good. 13-0 now. Rome needs an answer.
Yeah, you got to be a little shell-shocked if you're Rome's offense. In the last 2 years, you haven't really experienced anything like this, I don't believe, where it feels like your defense is the one getting walked.
And here's the return to the far side, over the 20, but not too much farther. Going to mark it at the 21, and that is where Rome will start their second drive of the ball game.
Yeah, you've absolutely got to sustain a drive at this point right now. If you're this Rome high school offense, we're still in the first quarter here, right? But at this point, you're looking across the sideline at your defense, and you're saying, hey, guys, can we just stop? And if you're the defense looking at your offense, you're like, hey, can we sustain a drive? I'm sucking wind over here.
And Fountain back in the ball game, taking over for Height, jokingly, of course, on the 4th down. No good conversion, and that is a handoff up the middle, and unable to move the pile, be a minimal gain for Harmon and the Wolves. And the Trojans were calling for a fumble.
Colin, offensively, I would compare this to like being a hitter in baseball and watching the first 2 guys in front of you ground out on first pitch fastballs. You got to take a couple pitches. And if you're Rome's offense, you got to run the ball a couple plays and get some clock run off this clock right now.
That's a good point. You don't want your defense to get tired out.
They're going to get a false start here as well.
Not a good start to this second drive for the Wolves.
2nd and 8 going to turn into a 2nd and 13. As it was just an operational issue, right? You send your running back in motion there a little bit. It looked like the right side of the offensive line just couldn't quite hold their water. They get called for a false start.
So it would be 2nd and 13 now. We are under 2 minutes here left in this first quarter. Fountain trying to get something going for these Wolves. And Fountain takes the snap, throwing deep over the middle. And what a catch from DK Daniel up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, slot, a little skinny post right there from the slot position for DK Daniel, and he plucks that ball right out of the air. Perfect ball placement from Fountain. Wasn't a big window there, not a lot of separation. Gutsy throw from 2.
Wolves are moving fast. Handoff there. That is to Arthur, and Arthur's not going to get much there.
Man, that mesh looked a little sketchy, Colin. I don't love watching quarterbacks ride that mesh all the way down to the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that ends up into a fumble. Fountain's got to be careful. Be decisive in those RPOs, young quarterbacks.
Yeah, that was very close to being disaster there, but it is 2nd and 8 now for Fountain.
Hey, I'm liking this DK Daniel. Nice weapon, playing outside wide receiver, playing inside, playing a little X, playing a little slot, playing a little Z, plays a little defense as well for Rome High School. DK Daniel, a junior out here. Coaches, take a look.
And In motion
Here
is
they come to him
Height,
again.
and it is to Daniel. Daniel trying to find a seam, and he gets as much as he can,
I was
which
about to
is
say,
not
Colin,
much.
he's lucky to even get 2 or 3 yards right there. As soon as he caught the ball, they run that screen into the short side of the field. Now, that means your offensive linemen have less ground to cover to block people, but that also means defenders have less ground to cover to run and tackle. So I think that's kind of the issue there. You had too many guys down here on the short side of the field to be running a screen, but great job by Daniel just putting his nose down and picking up whatever he could.
And here's Fountain with trips to the outside. He's rolling, and he's going to go down the field, and there's an open receiver, and the catch is made, and that is a touchdown for Will Bray. What an answer.
There is a flag on the play, Colin, but I believe it's going to be a defensive pass interference. They're going to wave that off, obviously, and it will be a touchdown for Rome High School, and Will Bray answers, the senior wide receiver. A great job there by Will Bray of doing what we call scramble drill, right? He was the deep guy. Just keep going. There's no one behind you. Just continue to run and run and run. And by God, put your hand up if you need to grab the attention of your quarterback, Reese Fountain. Big time play and answer there from Rome High School.
I was going to say Daniel is open underneath, but Fountain trusts himself, trusts the play, stays patient, finds Bray down the field for the, believe it was a 52-yard touchdown. Yeah, 52 is the official number on that.
Penalty was actually a defensive holding call.
Not bad. Not a bad play.
Not bad at all, and that's the answer the Wolves needed. This game was on the brink of being out of control in the first quarter. As crazy as that is to say, but as Lewis and the Trojans were moving, it was looking like this could be a blowout. Now it's a different ball game. Extra point is blocked, however.
That's huge from Carrollton. Special teams unit right there. Your kicker pushes one right on the first score. You get it back even right there. Special teams a complete wash at this point. Now 13-6 as we almost near the second quarter here, Colin. And we got some action. 13-6, 19 points scored in the first quarter here. And I guarantee if you told both of these coaching staffs, hey, there's going to be 3 touchdowns scored in the first quarter, both of them would have been like, no way, not possible.
No way. And I'm sure the coaches would not be happy with that. You know, you talk
offensively, I bet Joey King is. I can promise you that.
Okay, that is fair, but you also, you know, you want to Rome's strength is their defense, and giving up 13, yes, as you said, King, very happy with that. Rome coaches,
not so much.
Not so much. They really haven't had to rely on their offense. Their defense definitely doing the...
Well, they haven't played behind all year. I mean,
that
they
is
were up,
true.
They were up for the most part in that game against Creekside, win that game 16-6, and then they skunk 49-0 last week. I think they our fabulous Rome High School radio network here hit us with a brilliant stat. They had 7 touchdowns, none of which had a longer drive than 3 plays last week at Rome High School. Think about that. 7 touchdowns, no drive longer than 3 plays. I mean, that's easy money, the definition of it. So they're getting tested tonight.
And the penalty was accepted on the kickoff, so the kickoff from midfield goes into the end zone. For the touchback, Trojans will start at the 25.
So if you're Rome High School, I don't know if it's at this point in the game that you have to make some type of adjustment, but 10 is eating you alive right now. It was just letting him sit back there and chew apart your zone defense. So if you're going to throw a curveball at a young quarterback, now might be the time. You have somewhat of enough personnel to try maybe a curveball like man defense. It's not something that a lot of high school teams want to do, but it is something that they can do if need be. And right now, I think Rome needs some type of adjustment. It doesn't look like we're going to get it, though, at this point right now. As we see Julian Lewis come out here for his 3rd possession, we'll see if this Carrollton offense can stay perfect. Motion Hicks out of the backfield, and Lewis is going to go to him. Hicks catches the ball about the 16, up to the 25, and bounces out of bounds.
Okay, throw it down to who?
I love watching Hicks with the ball in his hand after the catch, right? This is a guy, if you're watching him tonight as a college football coach, he might not be your prototypical NFL-sized running back, but he has the ability, like he is right now, to split out and play wide receiver if need be. He has the arsenal to run wide receiver routes as well, judging off his depth. As they take the snap right here, Julian Lewis going deep, taking a shot. Oh, he got there early.
And And that was probably not necessary. Their little push on the receiver. Ref has to call it. We're going to get the call on the field, and that will end the first quarter.
I would imagine Rome High's
Again, Carrollton is going to be first and 10 to the 40. Moving left to right on your radio dial. Carrollton has a 13-6 lead. And we are now just waiting for them to go ahead and set up. Lewis is back in the gun for Carrollton. Single receiver to his right.
Yeah, her mic's not working.
Takes the ball, fakes the handoff to Hicks. Back there, here comes pressure. Manages to throw the ball down the field. And there was contact out there, but the pass was definitely incomplete. That will be the end.
And that is the end of the first quarter after an untimed down. We appear to have a little bit of technical difficulties there with Kaylin. We'll get that fixed and throw it back down to her. But as of right now, 13-6.
So
actually, there's another
two
penalty.
Untimed downs. So they called the pass interference on Rome, right, before we threw down to Kaylin. That is an untimed down to end the first quarter. Julian Lewis then scrambled on that untimed down that you guys unfortunately didn't get to see. Threw a ball out of bounds, but I believe there's another unmarked dead ball penalty against Rome, so we'll get another untimed down here to end the first quarter as Julian Lewis and the Carrollton Trojans will set up on the plus 45. Here to end the first quarter. So they'll get one more untimed down, and then we will go to the second quarter.
So we'll just play this first quarter an infinite amount of times, but nope, and is there going to be another flag? That was very close. There was contact, but that one was truly uncatchable.
So we watched an entire, first quarter of Julian Lewis. I think that's the first miss. I mean, we can clearly state that was a missed throw. He just threw that a little bit high. Ball sailed on him just a tad bit. And when we get back to action here to start the second quarter, Carrollton will have the ball second and 10 at the 45. An action-packed first quarter there, Colin.
That was very much so. It looked like Carrollton was running away with it. And then Rome on the big 52-yard touchdown pass, Fountain to Bray. Brings it back within 7, 13-6. Trojans ahead.
One thing I know about this Rome High School football team, just watching them practice, they are well conditioned for football. Now, they don't condition for football by running 110s like some people. They condition for football at Rome High School by playing football. Okay, if you go out to practice, Coach Reed's got these boys banging and hitting, Monday through Wednesday. Okay, they get after it. They compete against one another constantly, and they're ready to rock. So definitely not going to get tired anytime soon being this Rome High School football team. And considering their experience both in the regular season and even the playoff experience that some of these guys on this roster have, you're not going to see a football team that lays down at any point tonight or at any point in this season. Now, this may be in an unfamiliar territory for them at this point in the season. And even at this point in the season last year, they typically handle most of their regular season opponents. So for this game right now, to force them early in the season to respond and to answer to a team that's kind of punched you in the mouth, this is a good test for this Rome High School football team.
And, you said before the intermission, first miss by Lewis. Well, that was officially the first miss, first incomplete pass.
Pretty good at my job, huh?
Yes, very good at your job. Good analysis there, Brooks. Yes, the first incompletion, he was a perfect 11 for 11 before that last untimed down. And it is a handoff here to Hicks to start the second quarter, and he'll gain about 3 on the play.
I'm driving over today, and I'm like, you know what? First big test for Julian Lewis. First quarter, 11 for 12, buck 40, 2 tutties. Come on now.
He is proving everybody right. Top player in the 2026 class offers from.
Don't even list them. Don't even list them.
It'll be easier to say who hasn't offered this kid.
The small schools, because they know they don't have a shot.
So here is Lewis, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far. Handoff to Hicks, and Hicks finds a hole, and he's going into the secondary, crosses the 20 at the 19. First and 10, Trojans.
I got to give a shout-out to the recruiting coordinator at Liberty. To be the only O on Hicks is just telling me that you're better at your job than everybody else, because this guy is clearly a mid-major football player at the very least. Hicks is the most explosive threat they have with the ball in his hands right now at Carrollton, and he's doing it in a variety of ways. He's carrying inside the tackle box, helping out in the screen game outside as a wide receiver as well.
We got trips to the near side, far side. And they're
going to shift coverage over Odom here at the bottom of your screen, so they're going to take him out of the equation.
I was going to say Odom is singled on the near side, and there's the screen to Hicks. Hicks is cutting back towards the middle, and he's swimming his way down through the defenders to the 6-yard line.
I can assure you, as they go no huddle again, Julian Lewis is getting a bunch of help from his offensive coordinator and his head coach down here on the sideline. But, God, is he playing on time and fast.
2 to each side. Handoff to Hicks. Hicks is not going to find the seam on that one. Gain of 1, it'll be second and goal.
So, Colin, and all you friends at home watching us, a little football knowledge for you. Anytime you see a team run, like, real pace and no huddle inside the red zone, like rushing to the line of scrimmage to run a play, they're probably running the simplest play in their playbook, right? So load up for the run, play man coverage, get in people's faces, and be ready for it. I've never understood why teams are surprised when people line up and smack them in the mouth.
That's a very good point there. When you're running, like you said, you can't go fast, be too complicated, but that is a handoff, and Hicks is right at the goal line, and the ball looks to be out. Let's see what the call is.
I'll tell you what happened. Rome safety put the daggum hat right on the ball. They're waving a touchback. That is Rome football. I couldn't quite tell who it was that made the hit, but the safety plugged down into B-gap and put his helmet right onto that football and popped it right out.
And that was literally inches away from being the third touchdown on as many drives for Carrollton, but it is a turnover, fumble recovered in the end zone for the Wolves.
I want to give somebody credit for that, but I don't know who it was. It was either DK Daniels or Martell Height, one of the safeties from Rome, just flying downfield and making a big old hit right there on the goal line. That's big time. That's a huge play. That would have been a 20-6 ball game with 10 minutes left in the second quarter.
This is a huge swing. This could possibly a 14-point swing, 14-point play, considering what Rome does with this drive. They drive this down, ties this game. I mean, keep a mark on that. And as Fountain gets the throw, a little bit of miscommunication there with Height. It'll go incomplete, be second and 10.
So here's the deal. They got a too-high safety look from Carrollton right there. The safety's rolled down. Fountain automatically knows I've got a go ball, okay, away from the safety rotation. Martell Height doesn't quite get the check right there. Runs the comeback. Fountain throws one about 20 yards over his head. And it's just like you said, a miscommunication. But I'm going to put that on the receiver, not the quarterback.
And it is 9:47 left in this first half. 13-6. Favor of the Trojans, and it's a shovel pass there up the middle for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, that's the old Kansas City Chief Travis Kelce play right there. Running speed option with the shovel up underneath, down by the line of scrimmage.
Yep, and that was to Martavius Collins, the Alabama commit, on the shovel pass 2-yard gain.
Here's a take for you, Colin. Martavius Collins, the best blocking tight end in all of 2024. That may sound like a slight, but if you know anything about how Alabama uses their tight ends, they need a Martavius Collins. They absolutely do, and Rome High School uses him almost just like Alabama will on the next level.
I mean, the best tight ends are complete tight ends. You think of George Kittle and the likes of those, you got to be able to block. And here is Fountain. Fountain's looking deep, and that's to Height, and it is over the head. There is a flag. We'll see if that's defensive pass interference. Height certainly thinks so.
So I think they're going to get Kelvin Hill with a little bit of a pass interference. It looked like that offhand was just pulling down on Martell Height's jersey just a little bit. Can't get too grabby when you're getting somebody behind you.
And you may think that's a little ticky-tacky, but you get a little tug right there. I mean, it was a step or two away from being a completion, so that made a difference on the play.
We gave a shout-out to Liberty's recruiting department. I think Clark Lee and the Vanderbilt Commodores got an absolute steal in Martell Height in this 2023 class. He's an absolute baller. I've been watching him for a couple of years at Rome High School and just thrilled and stunned by the playmaking abilities that he possesses. I think Clark Lee and that Vanderbilt staff did a home run job coming to Rome High School and plucking that kid out.
Where do you think Height's going to play? Is he going to be receiver or is he going to be a safety?
I personally grade him out as a receiver, but he can play DB as well, as we see Rome High School hand it off and get stuffed. And maybe a yard and a half.
That was
as they'll set up 2nd and 9.
Chance Arthur there on that carry.
But no, I see Martell playing, kind of what he does now for Rome High School, where he's a weapon on either side of the ball. Whether he's playing free safety and tracking it down, trying to make interceptions, or whether he's a weapon on offense, making explosive plays. That's what his bag is.
And we got 3 receivers to the near side. Fountain takes the snap. He's going to screen it out there to Arthur. Arthur's got space, and he's getting over midfield for the first down. 3rd and 10. Screen pass to Arthur. He gets about 20.
I love watching Will Bray on that last play. A tremendous block out of the slot. That play does not happen. It's a design play for the running back to run after the catch, but it doesn't happen if Will Bray does not block the linebacker as the play develops.
Will Bray, 52-yard touchdown reception block on the 3rd and 10 conversion. We got 3 to the far side. Again on the screen pass, and that was pressure up the middle, breaking up the play. That was the big Jacob Ricks defensive end there.
Yeah, Fountain and Rome High School setting up a little double screen right there. Screen to your right, screen to your left. Whichever numbers you like, take it to it. I don't know if he might want that one back. I like the look at the top of the field where you got Martavius Collins, your best blocker in space, locked up on a linebacker. So we'll see how they bounce back here on 2nd and 10.
So we got trips to the far side, Collins tight end on the end to the near side, and he's looking quick. Throw over to DK Daniel, and that's going to be very close to the 1st-yard marker.
They're moving the sticks, so they're going to give him a 1st down.
So that is 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Trojans. Rome trying to tie this ball game.
Yeah, a little RPO, a little now route there from 3. Just find space now, show your chest to the quarterback, and allow him to make a nice pitch and catch so you can run after the catch and pick up a 1st down. As Rome potentially maybe take a shot here, or do you keep with your methodical possession?
Well, we'll see what Fountain does. Handoff there, and that is to Harmon. Harmon gets about 6 yards, be 2nd and 4.
So if I'm Rome High School's offensive coordinator, this is my time to take a shot, and here's why, Colin. Obviously, we're in 4-down territory. Okay, we just saw that from the last possession when they run a fake punt at the 35-yard line with Martell Heights. So in that case, hey, 2nd and 5, great opportunity to try to drive the ball downfield and get a big explosive here. I don't know based off the formation if that's exactly what we're going to get, however.
So we got trips to the near side, the short side, not a lot of room there. We'll see what Fountain does and he throwing over the middle, and oh my goodness, taking the hit and making the catch is DK Daniel.
Yeah, we got an early enrollee for player of the game just because of the plays he's making. That is 2 elite tight corridor catches there from DK Daniel. And I don't get it. Again, we watch players like this every week, it seems like, here in the state of Georgia. If he were 6 foot tall, loaded with offers, but because he's not quite right now. But if he keeps playing like this, colleges will not be able to deny him. He's playing too physically despite his stature.
And in motion is Height. Handoff is to Harmon. Harmon takes it over the tackle, gets about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 now for the Wolves.
It's been an extended drive, right? We had the play act, or we had the pass interference is probably the biggest quote-unquote chunk play of this drive so far, apart from the screen pass where Will Bray had a great block. But a nice methodical drive here from Rome. They have got to finish.
Yeah, the 20-yard screen pass on 3rd and 10, definitely a big play. And there's a little touch pass to Height. Height, good job by the Trojans stringing that out for no gain.
That's a great job by the outside linebacker there, number 8, Michael Braden. A senior program guy is how Joey King described Braden this week when I asked about him. You can tell every single one of these Carrollton football players has spent the better part of the last 4 years working in that weight room. Michael Braden, no different than the rest of his roster, doing a great job there of just stringing the play out. Keep stretching it until your corner can come down and help. Hicks does a great job there cleaning it up.
And here is another 3rd down for the Wolves, and they're going to take a timeout. Important play here. We'll see what Coach Reed calls up on this one.
So first timeout of the half with 5 minutes and 10 seconds left here as Rome is trying to knock this one up. Colin, it looks like we are shaping up to have us another good football game. I don't know what it is about you and me on the call, but for week 1, we had us an absolute thriller out there at Westlake between North Cobb and Westlake. That game come.
Hi, this is Kaylin Bidell with Born to Compete, and we've got Rome at Carrollton. We're about halfway through the 2nd quarter, and it has been nonstop energy. Carrollton came in with the first touchdown against Rome, and we've got a lot of football left. So back to y'all.
I promise you I look up who number 55 was for Rome, and that was Jarvis Adams, who had a
Start recording?
block there earlier on for Jaden Harper. He was absolutely level in Carrollton.
Bristino, start recording in 10 seconds?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Okay, sorry.
It's going to be 3rd and 6.
High school.
11 left to go before halftime. Found his in the gun. Harmon is his tailback out there. Single receiver to his left, twins to his right. Fountain.
As we see Fountain right here checking at the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 5. Looks like he's making some adjustments, perhaps in his protection, as he drops back to pass.
And that is over the middle, and great play there. That was the
That's
safety.
Kelvin Hill, number 1, the corner from Carrollton that breaks that pass up. I was talking to Carrollton's coaching staff, Coach Barge in particular, quarterbacks coach here at Carrollton, and he was telling me about Hill. He truly believes Kelvin Hill, and I don't know about this. I haven't checked the tape because I haven't watched all of his games, but Kelvin Hill, per the Carrollton coaching staff, has not given up a touchdown in his high school career.
Oh, my goodness.
And he stays perfect right there with a great pass deflection.
Well, with plays like that, you can see why that is a believable statistic. And here's the field goal attempt, and got enough distance, but it was to the left, and that's an empty possession for the Wolves, and that's a killer.
It's a killer, but at least you take a bunch of time off the clock. This Carrollton offense to this point is virtually 3 for 3. They've had the ball 3 times. They've scored 3 times, except they fumbled on the goal line last possession. So it's a great job by your offense. Yes, you would love to finish that possession with some points on the board, but at least you sustained a drive, carried it into the red zone, and gave your defense a chance to get a breather for what you hope to be their last possession of the half right here. Get Carrollton off the field if you're Rome. Get the ball back, have a nice long 4-minute drive like he just did this time, punch it in and score.
Yeah, and that was Diego Corden on the field goal attempt there. Distance was there, just wide, and the score stays at 13-6, and we are a perfect 5 minutes on the dot left here in this first half. And I'm sure Lewis and the Trojans will like to add one more touchdown before they head back to the locker room.
Carrollton has a 13-6 lead right now. They're going to be moving right to left on your radio dial.
Carrollton with all 3 timeouts. No pressure here, no need to play with pace. Play your offense, run your typical standard pace of play, which for Carrollton this first half has been rather rampant. Maybe you slow down here, believe it or not.
So we got 2 backs in the backfield. Receivers split out. The handoff there is to Hicks. Hicks gets minimal yardage, call it 3.
Something to pay attention here, Colin. Rome High School coming out this possession, showing man coverage at the snap and then bailing into zone, something that the young quarterback's going to have to pay attention to. It's as simple as disguising coverages, but it means you have to read pre-snap and then adjust post-snap. We'll see if 10 can make the adjustments on the fly.
Well, we'll see what Lewis does. There was trips to the near side. Hicks motions out, and there's a false start. That's going to back up the Trojans.
Yeah, number 78 there on the false start. He's actually been in a position battle with sophomore R.J. Sizemore this fall. So
that was Godgift Dudley on the false start.
Godlift is a player that has just started playing football when he got into high school. So just his 3rd year of playing football here at Carrollton High School.
Godgift, a 6'3", 235 junior.
Long old arms on him, too.
And here's the snap. Lewis takes it. Good underneath find there to Lipscomb. And Lipscomb gets near the sticks.
It's everything, Colin. It's everything, including ball placement and communicating to your wide receivers with the ball. A bunch of Rome defenders inside the hashes right there. They run a nice little comeback at the top of your screen. Julian Lewis throws it outside the receiver's frame into the sideline, turning his receiver away from the big hit, allowing him to run after the catch, getting into a 2nd or a 3rd and 2, as opposed to what potentially could have been a 3rd and 5. Those 3 yards matter. They now open the playbook to a run play.
And we'll see what they do. Hicks in the backfield, and Lewis takes the snap, and there it is to Hicks, and it's off his hands.
That's brutal if you're a quarterback. You put that in the perfect spot. Hicks just unable to come up with it. It seemed like Hicks was maybe trying to run before he caught that ball, and that's exactly what you needed if you're this Rome defense. Get off the field, a nice 3 and out, and now Rome High School will most likely get the football back here with just under 4 minutes to play.
Just a little lapse there by Hicks. Took his eye off the ball. Hicks has been making plays all day long. Not able to get that one there. And it will be a punt from the 15-yard line is where the punter stands. That's a good kick, and that's going to be Height making the catch. Trying to get to the outside, and he does, and he's going to cross midfield. What a return there by Martell Height.
And a clean return, too. Rome's return team doing a great job of staying clean. Hey, look, if I see the back of that jersey, we don't want to touch. Hands up, right? No blocks in the back, no hold. It defeats the purpose to have a great returner back there if we're not going to have a clean return unit. Great job there by Rome and Martell Height of making a play right there and putting your offense in a favorable position here as the ball spotted at about the 42-yard line with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left in the game, or in the half.
And you know, coaches always say there's 3 facets to the ball game. There's offense, defense, and special teams. Height plays them all.
Who told you that? Who told you there's 3 phases of football?
Just about every coach I've ever spoken to. They always stress special teams. Don't overlook special teams.
Don't forget the 12th man in the stands either.
4 phases of football right there. And Rome, speaking of which, has a good showing making the trip. Short drive over to Carrollton, and that's a screen pass there to Harmon. Harmon, good swim move. Gets about, let's call it 6, so it'll be 2nd and 4.
of these quarterbacks doing a good job of playing on time. Okay, if we get through our first read, if we get through our second read, and nothing is open, if we don't like any of the looks, let's check down, get it to our back. Both of these teams having really, really good backs in Harmon and Hicks to do something after the catch out of the backfield.
Fountain hands off to Harmon. Harmon gets over the center. Enough for a first down.
Standard inside zone. That's a big boy run play. That's my guys are going to push your guys, and we're going to pick up this first down. That's who Rome is. To be 100% honest with you, they are who they are, okay? They don't do a bunch of changes in the middle of the week. They don't game plan a ton for each individual opponent. They run what they run. They play physical football. They try to out-talent you and out-execute you.
Got 3 receivers to the near side. Takes it, rolling out, making the throw. Good catch by Daniel. And that's going to go for about a 5-yard gain. Another play made by Daniel.
I love the tackle there from the corner, number 9, Keyshawn Johnson, or the safety rather, Keyshawn Johnson, coming downhill, putting his head on the far side knee, and getting DJ Daniel on the ground before he's able to make any more after the catch.
We got 2 receivers out
and
wide.
2 tight ends here from Rome High School. Heavy personnel.
There's the handoff, and good job by the interior defensive line shutting that play down. No gain for Harmon.
Now, you got to be careful, especially when a tight end like Martavius Collins is on the field. But another one of those situations, hey, 2nd and 5, you see an offense come out in 2 tight ends, first time in a while. They stay here in 12 personnel. Normally, you'd be key and run, but they just ran it again. It's 3rd and 4 right now. Perhaps you might see them go try to take a shot to Martavius Collins, or at least pick up this first down via the air.
Correction, it is Chance Arthur in the backfield, and Fountain looks the way that was incomplete there. One-on-one there.
Now look,
number 1 unable to make the catch.
I am an offensive guy by heart. Played it in college, played it my whole life. Never been a defensive guy. Didn't have enough aggression. But if I've ever seen an offensive pass interference, that about looked like it, okay? Kelvin Hill was in perfect position to pick that ball off as he comes limping off, unfortunately, for Carrollton High School. Their best corner is they have to take in a new corner in 21 as Kelvin Hill runs off. That's very, very important to notice as we get a Wildcat formation here. Fountain split out to the top. Martell Height playing quarterback.
It's 4th and 4. Height.
Here's that hard count. You'll see them motion in. Now, they do have another fake punt out of this formation, but you'll see Coach Reed calling the timeout here. They don't love the look. They'll probably, maybe, bring the punt team on here, the actual punt unit.
I was going to say, it seems like Height is the 4th down quarterback specialist here.
I mean, they worked on that and worked on that and worked on that Wednesday when I was at practice. And I think I saw them, Colin, take maybe 7 or 8 reps on this specific formation and this situation, essentially. 4th and short, ball in the middle of the field. We're kind of in that no man's land. We're going to run this formation. Of all the reps I saw, I did not see a pass play. I did not see one. So it was shocking almost to see them go to that, of all things, at the first 4th down. So we'll see what Coach Reed and his Rome coaching staff chooses to do here on a very pivotal 4th and 5. With just 1 minute and 21 seconds left here in the first half. Rome with just 1 timeout left. Carrollton with all 3. So worth noting there, if you see Carrollton or Rome come out here run the ball, it'll stop anyway. It's going to be a turnover on down. So nonetheless, if you're Carrollton, get off the field right here. The clock will automatically stop. You got 3 timeouts to drive the length of the field.
It's an interesting decision. Of course, you want to be aggressive if you're Rome, but also if you decide to punt, pin it down deep, it's pretty much going to go into the half 13-6. Be tough for Carrollton to do anything with it. But Fountain is going to come in as the quarterback. We got trips to the far side. Looks like they're going to go for it. 4th and 4. Fountain takes it up to the Will Bray. Look at Will Bray making plays.
It's a very similar play that they ran to DK Daniel earlier. Just a now route, right? Go upfield, find the spot in the zone, turn around. The ball's going to be on you right now. That's why they call it a now route, Colin.
And very important, as you said, both of these quarterbacks on time. Fountain had to be on time for that throw. He was. Bray makes the catch. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 20. And the screen to the outside, that's to Harmon. Harmon's unable to make much out of that. Good, solid tackling there by Carrollton's defense.
You're going to have to play with a little bit of pace now, Rome High School. You need to get back on the ball. You have 1 timeout left, 43 seconds, clock is ticking down, 2nd and 9. You're going to have to play with a little bit of pace as you see that staff over there on the sideline show a little bit of anxiousness.
Still have 1 timeout. We are down to 30 seconds. And who's going to call it? It's Carrollton's taking the timeout to make sure they have the right defense on the field. 30 seconds left here in this second half.
Looks like plenty of chaos right there. A lot of decisions being made in a short amount of time. Carrollton electing to go with the timeout.
So you got 30 seconds left, 1 timeout. What's the play? What are you looking for?
All right, so 2nd and 9, right? 2nd and 9, 1 timeout, 30 seconds left. To me, it's great that we have an opportunity to pick up a first down if I'm an offensive coordinator, because in high school the clock stops. So if I am Rome's offensive coordinator here, I am running some type of route scheme to get us a first down, okay, and stop the clock. And at that point, I'm immediately getting on the ball, probably taking a shot into the end zone and stopping the clock then. That way we can save our timeout in case we have to run the field goal unit back onto the field. The last thing you want to do right now for Rome is burn a timeout. There'll still be 24, 25 seconds left on the play clock, and then you're in no man's land for the last 25 seconds of the half with no ability to stop the clock.
So we got 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far, and Fountain, Daniel in motion. Fountain looking to Daniel. He's going to throw it to DK Daniel, and that's going to be, looks like an interception in the end zone.
What a play by Quinn Ackey, having to come in and play the flip side corner because the starting boundary corner, Kelvin Hill, limped off during that possession. So Ackey goes across the field, gets attacked by Rome High School, and comes up with the interception right there. A big play by the corner.
And that was certainly a mistake there by Fountain. I saw from up here he was looking down DK Daniel the entire way. Probably a forced throw there. Great coverage. Interception made. Drive is over. That is a little touch pass to Hicks.
Ooh.
Hicks gets driven out of bounds
by Alto Moore right there, number 45 from Rome High School. One of the more physical, hard-nosed linebackers that I've seen in the high school ranks in the last couple of years. Just picked up a Michigan State offer in the last couple of weeks. He is a name to know in that 2024 linebacking class here in the state of Georgia.
So the clock stops with the play going out of bounds. We got 17 seconds, 2nd and 2 at their own 28 is Carrollton. And Hicks is in motion. Lewis takes the snap, and he's going down. Ran into his own man. That was finished off by Stephen Green, the Clemson commit, for the sack.
I don't think he ran into his own man. I think Stephen Green threw his own man into him. That's a sack by association from Stephen Green right there as we take it to the half.
Hey, any way you can get it, and that is, as you said, the end of the first half. Carrollton's up 13-6 over Rome, and we are in for an exciting finish to this ball game. Both high-powered teams throwing punches both on offense and defense. Offense definitely started things strong. No scoring there, surprisingly, in the second half.
A scoreless second quarter there from both of these football teams.
Thank you. But yeah, all the points came in the first quarter. We thought we were in for a shootout. Things started evening up. Now it is 13-6, and Rome will receive the second half kickoff.
I thought it was a great job there.
And we are going to...
5 minutes. All right. So you guys are stuck with us here on this halftime show for about 5 minutes. So let's just talk a little bit about it. We saw Julian Lewis and his Carrollton offense, 3 for 3 in that first quarter. Doing a great job of just controlling the ball, attacking where they want to attack. It was clear in that first quarter, hey, we're going to stretch this Rome defense. We are going to attack off tackle. We're going to hit a bunch of bubbles. We're going to play on time. We're going to get Julian Lewis comfortable, and then we'll start to take daggers as we see fit. Haven't seen them really take too many shots being Carrollton's offense, and I thought Rome did a decent enough job of responding. And, the huge turnover there on the goal line for Rome High School pretty much kept this game at bay in that first half. That's what kept us scoreless in the second quarter.
Oh, yeah. Great turning point. Literally inches away from their third touchdown in as many drives was Carrollton. Fumble forced on the 1 foot line there, recovered in the end zone. And I want to ask you, and you mentioned it, spoke on it a little bit, Julian Lewis, he started 11 for 11, but Rome's defense is their bread and butter, and no points scored in the second half. Do you think Rome was, as the game went on, they started to figure out Lewis, or was it more?
I think it was more Rome's offense sustaining drives and keeping Carrollton's off the field there in the second quarter. We don't quite have the time of possession splits from the first half, but I would imagine if you look at it, I mean, it felt like Carrollton didn't necessarily have the ball a bunch, because when they did, they were moving it, right? Playing with pace and playing at a high tempo. So I think if you're Rome High School coming out, I can't quite remember who gets the ball.
Rome gets the second half
gets
kickoff,
the ball to start the second half. So if you're the Rome Wolves, you did a great job there, answering and keeping this game tight, particularly on that defensive end. If you can keep getting stops defensively as you did in that second quarter, and your offense can keep punching it away, I think you got a shot here in the second half.
And I'm just going to say, I've been impressed with Lewis. I've also been impressed with some other players. DK Daniels definitely stood out. Will Bray has made a couple of great plays. Little unheralded guys, Hicks. I mean, all eyes are on Lewis, but we've seen players stepping up on both sides, making plays. We'll see if this goes a good way. Primetime matchup. We'll see if some more offers start rolling in.
One of our keys to the victory for Carrollton tonight was to keep 10 clean. I mean, he got sacked a couple times there in the first half, but for the most part, they've been able to keep Stephon Green at bay. And listen to me, he had 3.5 total tackles in the first half, a couple TFLs, and a sack. So it wasn't like they kept him completely at bay. But if you have 3 possessions and you keep Stephon Green from wrecking at least one of those, in high school football in the state of Georgia, you did a daggone good job. He is one of, again, like I said, pound for pound, effort-wise, whatever you want to say, when it comes to defensive tackles, I don't know if there's a better one here in the state of Georgia.
And just looking over the stats, thank you to those here in the press box at Carrollton High School. Yeah, Julian Lewis, 14-16, 171. Bryce Hicks, 6 receptions, 81 yards for the running back to go along with 7 carries for 38 yards. He's doing a lot of work. And as I mentioned, DK Daniels, 5 for 58. Will Bray, 3 catches, 67 yards, including that 52-yard touchdown. I'm excited for the second half. Yeah, I have no idea which way this is going to go.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen right now is that most likely both of these football teams will come back with some type of change-up. They've made some type of adjustment here at half. These coaching staffs are far too good, far too talented to just come back out and do the same thing. So whatever it is, if you're Carrollton High School, I think it's, hey, we got to figure out how to stop the run and get after Reese Fountain and make him play a little bit off script. I feel like most of what Reese has done tonight, throwing the football, has been from a standard flat foot, comfortable type of stroke. He's 14 for 21 right now with 154 yards in the first half, 53 of those coming on one play. So most of the work has been 10 and in. So if you're Carrollton, you got to figure out a way to get to him quickly. They've been unable to do that so far in the first half. And if you're Rome, it's continue to do what you do, man. They're a fast, physical football team. Rally to the football, get guys down, and you got to make these windows just a little bit tighter defensively.
And these are 2 very quality coaches, as you mentioned. Joey King, this is his 2nd season with Carrollton. Before that, spent some time with University of South Florida and Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, college guy,
but before that, he was with Cartersville. Trevor Lawrence, 2 state titles. He was the head coach there for that Cartersville run with Trevor Lawrence.
I was talking to Joey, Coach King, in pregame, and I told him, I said, look, man, if you just keep 10 upright, you got a chance tonight, right? Just like we talked about in the keys of the victory. And I kind of chuckled and looked at him. I said, well, I guess that's kind of the answer the next 4 years for you, right? If you just keep 10 upright and allow him to throw the ball cleanly, you got a great chance to win every single Friday night for the next 4 years here at Carrollton High School. And he kind of smiled and said, yeah, I got a little history with something like that, obviously alluding to Trevor Lawrence. It's such a advantage, obviously, in high school football when you have the best player on the field at the quarterback position.
Yes, that is very true, and it's just amazing. Again, you can't say it enough. Julian Lewis, a freshman, but also want to mention on Rome's sideline, head coach John Reed, no slouch himself, 77-17 in 8 seasons, 2 state titles, and we are going to kick it down to Kalen on the sideline. Kalen, what do you got for us?
Nothing.
Total offensive plays,
This is Destiny Hartwell, and we're live at Carrollton High School, where the Carrollton Trojans are taking on the Rome Wolves. Now, first half has been great. We've had a lot of good football. Carrollton scored early, but you already knew that. Y'all been watching. So Rome starting out with the ball this quarter, and we're going to see how well they do. They've been playing really well, forcing a lot of turnovers, and they still have a really good chance to pull a win out of this game, y'all. We'll be back, and you'll get to see some more good football. Back to y'all at the booth.
To both of these areas of Georgia here on the west side of Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. At this point, it does not matter whether these teams are in the same region. These two administrations are going to schedule games against themselves. It's just that important.
Oh, we got a little light show going on here.
Talk about city schools with
resources.
Different resources. This is fancy.
Gainesville, another one. Got the lights out here. So this is a new type of deal. I mean, some would say Alabama started it. Some would say Georgia started it against Notre Dame in 2019. Either way, talk about a great way to get your crowd back up and into it as the second half gets ready to kick off here at Carrollton High School. Flag surfing's still in. Colin, can you believe that?
I mean, how can you not get hyped?
I sweat. I'm surf. I'm sweat. I'm surf.
I don't know. I like these players are a bit younger than me, but I like them. I like them jamming out to the songs I jammed out to in high school.
I think we're seeing a lot more schools with the lights, man. Can you imagine being like an electrician and just getting a contract call from a high school saying, "Hey, I need you to put a lighting display on my, stadium lights out here just because it looks cool on TikTok."
And after that display of electrician work, we are going to actually get down to some football. And here's the kickoff.
He's got a leg, don't he?
He certainly does. Fielded into the end zone, and that's going to be an automatic touchback. And that was
Antoine Carey wanted so bad to get that ball out of the end zone, but that right foot just goes over the end line. Ball automatically at the 20-yard line here in high school football. Colin, I think it's one thing that's interesting. Like in college, if you fair catch a ball inside the 20, or if the ball, you fair catch it in the end zone or take a knee and submit yourself for a touchback, the ball gets put at the 25. But in high school, it gets put at the 20. It's a little interesting.
That is very odd. I do like that college rule because when it was, into the end zone automatic touchback, schools were trying to short kick because then they get down. But here's the pitch there to Harmon as we start things, and he is...
Man, I wish we had replay, Colin. Martell Height just laid an absolute block out there at the top of the numbers. A great job by the Vandy commit, giving himself up for his teammates, picks up that block as Harmon goes around the edge for a big play, but it looks like there's going to be a penalty.
I was going to say, but we have a flag, and that's going to bring it back, and that's a tough one. That was going to be a big first play momentum starter.
I don't like to make
Rome.
too many assumptions, but most of the time, that is most likely an offensive lineman that had a defensive end get maybe just outside of him just a little bit too much and pull that hand down.
And it will look to be a 1st and 20 now. Ball would have been near midfield, and now they're backed up to the 10-yard line. So Rome has to reset, and it'll be 1st and 20.
If you're an offensive coordinator here, you don't have to get all of this back, right? But you do kind of want to get back to a 2nd and 10, maybe a 2nd and 8. So if you got a 10, 12-yard play in the playbook right here, now would be the time to call it.
And here's Fountain. Fakes the handoff, and what a tackle. That was Hill on the tackle, breaking up the screenplay.
Kelvin Hill doing a great job of two things right there. First, identification, driving down on that screen route as fast as possible, but he also had to shed a block on his way. Martell Height had a great block on the last possession. DK Daniel not quite able to pick up Hill right there on the outside. He ends up blowing that play up as they look at a 2nd and 22.
So Rome keeps going backwards here on their opening drive. They're inside. They're at their own 8-yard line. 2nd and 22. We got two receivers to the near side. Fountain in the gun. Yeah. And there's the handoff to Harmon. And Harmon's trying to get as much as he can. He'll get up to the 14-yard line.
At that point, as an offensive coordinator, you're facing 2nd and 20, ball on your own 7. You don't want to concede a drive.
And here's Lewis, and not looking for the ball there was Odom. Little odd there. Looked like he was blocking for a screen pass, and Lewis decided to throw it to him.
It looked to me like Julian Lewis liked the look at the top of the screen. He liked the one-on-one opportunity with Caleb Odom. I would imagine that's just a simple miscommunication between him and the wide receiver. Look, everything's an RPO nowadays, so if you get that one-on-one look, man, you have got to be alert to key into your route if that's exactly what you have to do. Caleb Odom busting on the route right there.
So we got trips now to the far side with Jamin Evans in the backfield. Screen is to Emmons, and he is going up and over the 30-yard line, out of bounds, and it looks like that will be enough for a first down.
Colin, if Darius Smith doesn't make that tackle right there, that probably goes for 6. Number 15 from Rome High doing a great job getting Hicks on the ground, but that was dangerous. That ball was about to slip, or that play was about to slip for a long, explosive gain. Carrollton just dialing it up right now, Colin. Just when you think they need a screen or just when they think they need a change of pace, they go right to it.
And kudos to Evans there taking over for Hicks on that play. Good 1-2 punch there. Great job for the coaches when you have two strong running backs.
Rome bringing pressure.
And Lewis hands off to Hicks, and he's going nowhere.
You know, sometimes as an offensive staff, Colin, even if we don't love the look, I mean, it's a check with me offense. They hard count, right? And then they look at the coach and say, what do you like, coach? Sometimes you just run the ball because it's the medicine that you need to take that possession. They haven't really been balanced today. That's an opportunity to get back and break a tendency with a run play.
Here's Lewis in the shotgun. Hicks next to him on the left. Trips to the right. Odom one-on-one to the left, and that passes to Odom. And Odom makes a jump over to the 25.
We might have an illegal formation on Carrollton High School. I saw a delayed penalty flag thrown from the line judge. Typically, that indicates some type of pre-snap issue. I didn't see anyone over there at all. Maybe encroachment on Rome, perhaps something pre-snap penalty worthy.
An eligible man down field That's an interesting call. That was a very quick pass. I don't know what the hurry was for the offensive lineman.
Joey King not liking it.
I was going to say, usually they give a little leeway there. I can't imagine an offensive lineman would be able to get downfield that fast, but apparently they did.
Second and 16 here. You'll see Rome go with the odd front. They'll have 3 down linemen. Outside linebacker number 92 at the bottom of your screen going to add in as well. So if you're Julian Lewis here on 2nd and 15, probably throwing the football, right? As he motions the running back out, going into an empty.
So now 5 wide. Evans makes the throw to Hicks, and look at the running back running down the seam, making the catch to the 15-yard line.
They use him in every which way they can, but I also love as they get an offensive penalty here as well.
There's another penalty on Carrollton.
I think they're going to call an illegal man downfield again.
That's got to be frustrating for Coach King.
That is the white hat throwing that flag all the way back from his spot. Let's see what he calls here.
Coach King definitely talking to the official. 2 procedural penalties.
Illegal shift or an illegal snap. It's just.
So apparently that shift by Hicks going to the outside out of the backfield was illegal.
So a 2nd and 20 here for Carrollton after 2 positive plays in a row.
So going backwards now is Carrollton doing their best Rome Wolves impression as the Wolves did on their first drive.
Get it out.
Green pass to Hicks, and Hicks is not wasting any time getting upfield. He gets about maybe 7 yards, but it is still 13 to go.
A lot of spread-based coordinators will tell you that swing passes like that are just an extension of our run game. I'm watching 87 run off the field here, holding his left arm. That's the starting tight end for Carrollton going out.
That is Jordan White.
And he is an important cog of what they do. Most of their offense runs through 87 via the run game and his blocking ability, as well as his ability to catch the ball off the RPO look. So 87 being out of the game forces Carrollton to adjust personnel-wise. No tight end in the formation now, so now we're in what we call 10 personnel. 1 back, no tight ends.
And that's going to be a free 5 yards.
Potentially, unless they're going to call a false start.
Yes.
So if you're counting at home, Carrollton fans, that's 3 penalties in a row. And somehow, some way, if they convert this, it might be the most improbable 3rd and 20 I've seen converted. Also will be the 3rd first down they've converted without converting a first down.
That would be a killer, honestly, Rome. You got him right where you want him. 3rd and 19.
You want to watch a defensive coordinator blow a gasket. Give up this 3rd and 20 right here.
We'll see what the play call is. That's just going to be something underneath trying to make a man miss.
Here's what I'm paying attention to. Stefan Green matched up over the left tackle. That's a mismatch.
And here's Lewis. Lewis holds onto the ball, and he's taken off. Lewis got a lot, but not enough.
That's a big body falling on you.
About 5 yards short, but it might be enough for them to consider going for it.
I told you earlier in the football game, Stefan Green might be the biggest effort player I probably evaluated on the high school level. No business running a quarterback down like that, like he just did. It was nothing but an effort play on 3rd and 20, and it forces a 4th and 5. Those are the types of plays that are going to get him on the field early at Clemson. He just saved a critical first down.
But the gain is enough for Carrollton to go for this. It's a 4th and 5, and we'll see what Lewis has. 2 receivers to each side.
You got to put it on 10 shoulders right here. He's been your gift. He's been your go-to. He's been accurate all night long. They're going to go back to him.
And Lewis to Hicks, and Hicks makes a man miss, and that's enough for a first down. He was able to get around Stefan Green and picking up the first down.
The best football player we have. Those were Joey King's words when I asked him about Hicks this week. They've used him in every facet tonight, and he's been obviously their most successful portion of their offense.
And that is a tough, as great as Green it is tough to take down a shifty running back in open field when you're a defensive tackle, unable to do so, and that going right hit. Back to Hicks. And you know what? He got hit at the line of scrimmage, and he just spun around and gained about 3 yards there.
Yeah, Alto Smith took his head off right there in the gap, but Hicks stays up, able to get a little yards after contact, picks up 3 yards, going to set up a 2nd and 7 here for Carrollton. Very similar situation that Rome had going into the half. You have the opportunity to pick up a first down inside the 10, so we don't necessarily have to feel like we got to score in the next 2 plays here on 2nd and 3rd down. Just get the first down if you want. A 2nd and 7 here for the Trojans.
And here's the handoff. This is to Evans now. And there's a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is.
That's the white hat throwing that one. That one's probably a hold. Yep, and it's a hold. So that's our 4th penalty now on the Trojans on this one drive. They're absolutely shooting themselves in the foot.
I mean, someone needs to tell the Trojans there's no extra points for degree of difficulty. They don't have to make it this hard on themselves.
That's a good line, dude. Oh, man. That is the 11th penalty for the Carrollton Trojans in this football game, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to be running for that one on Monday. They're absolutely going to be running for that.
So we will see.
Oh, and it's officially headset off time for Joey King on the sideline. Okay, he done chunked it. I know that's an assistant. My bad.
And here is Evans next to Lewis. Handoff is to Evans, and Evans finds some space bouncing off the tackle, and that gets inside the 15 to the 14, and that's going to bring up about a 3rd and 7.
7 or 8, whatever you want to call it. It's a 3rd and long, right?
It's a lot shorter than it was before that great run there by Evans.
And that great run from Evans puts you in field goal range where you feel comfortable if you're Carrollton here.
And that would make it a 2-score game. Very important there if they can honestly salvage any points off of this
Looks
drive.
like there's a little bit of confusion here with 10 seconds left on the play clock. Carrollton got just enough time to get this one off.
2 receivers out to each side. Screen and look for the pass here. Hicks is looking to pass it. It is not there. And he'll just eat it. Probably a smart play. Don't want to force the pass. That brings up 4th down.
And it looks like they're at least going to think about keeping the offense on as they run the field goal unit on here to try to make this a 2-score game to go up 16-6. Now, we've seen, obviously, Carrollton miss a PAT already at this point in the ball game. So this isn't exactly a given, nor is any 35-yard field goal a given in high school football.
This will actually be Carrollton's first field goal attempt of the season. All year. Before this, it was just PATs. And so this is going to be Jacob Russell.
No time to waste. He's right on it.
And that is up and very good kick there by Jacob Russell.
Hey, man, you ever play with a guy like on a golf course that's just one of those dudes that just walks up to it and hits it? That's exactly what just happened right there. There was no thoughts, no wondering, no waiting. It was 1, 2, 3, couple side steps to the left, down set hut, snap that ball, I'm kicking it.
That's the way to get over the mental aspect of the sport. You just go up without thinking and you just kick it.
Yeah, the senior kicker, Jacob Russell, right there, obviously has his routine down. That ball just inside the left upright as we have ourselves a 10-point ball game with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. And obviously, Rome got to answer.
Rome has to answer, and the thing is, with all those penalties, that drive took a long time. Rome's first drive, they were off the field rather quickly. Mm-hmm. So that offense has been sitting on the sidelines, not to mention the fact that they were in the locker room for a full halftime.
A
little stiff. So we'll see if that carries over or if Rome is able to loosen up here quickly.
Never felt worse than coming out after the half. You feel absolutely terrible.
And here is the kickoff, and that is going to be bobbled, having to go back to get it. Fortunate.
See, that's the second time we've seen that happen in games that we've called this week or this year. And I'll be honest, GHSA rules officials, if you're watching right now, do not reward football teams for not catching the kickoff and it rolling into the end zone. If it hits the returner, it should be a live ball. Okay, we don't reward guys for kicking it into the end zone. If it's a mistake made, live ball, let it play. Let's go.
I mean, I totally agree with you on that. That was a bailout. That was a bailout for a bad play.
I mean, if I catch the ball at the 2, turn around and throw it out of the back of the end zone because someone's about to hit me, do I get a touchback? No. It's a safety.
So at the 20 is where the Wolves will start. Handoff to Daniel. Daniel going wide to the outside. He gets about 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5.
This Rome High School offense has half dozen weapons, right? Guys that will play on Saturday type weapons. But it has been DK Daniel that has been their most productive and efficient portion of their offense tonight. They have got to continue to get 3 the rock.
We got 3
Here's
receivers.
that trick formation I was telling you about.
And the handoff there is to, I believe that was to Chase Arthur. In their very minimal game, it'll be a 3rd and 4 now for Rome, and they have to pick up this first down.
Yeah, we're getting to the point now, particularly with the way that Carrollton was moving the football and chewing clock last possession. It gets to this point in the 3rd quarter, every game, 2 possessions score where, hey, if you're Rome's offense, you got to start counting possessions, man. We don't have too many left at this point in the ball game.
There's trips now to the near side. Chase Arthur in the backfield. Fountain takes the snap. Going to Arthur. Arthur makes the catch. Probably better if he didn't. He loses 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th and 10.
It's number 32, Brody Bradburn, another guy that's a junior linebacker here for this Carrollton defense. I will repeat, again, this is a Carrollton football team that is up 16-6 against one of the best and most experienced football teams in high school football here in the state of Georgia, and they got 15 underclassmen on the 2 deep. Think about that. Of their best 44 players tonight, 15 of them are sophomores or freshmen, including their quarterback, who is a true freshman. This team's going to be good for a while, folks.
And here is the punt, and it's a high punt. Childers is going to let it bounce and is going to take a bounce. Childers picks it up. Risky play there.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, he's going to get absolutely chewed, I would imagine, when he comes off to this sideline. There's no reward there, right? We just basically made a 6-yard difference and a possibility of putting the ball back on the turf. So, I mean, yeah, it's easy for me to say up here in the box. I'm not playing live football right there. Childers just trying to make a football play. But you're up 10 points, man. Let the ball roll out. Let's make sure for 100% certainty that our offense gets the ball back. Lucky for him, he's able to pick that up cleanly and pick up 3 or 4 yards before he's tackled.
Yeah, risk reward there, not in the favor of the Trojans, but the play works out nonetheless. Ball at midfield, handoff there to Hicks. Hicks gets about 3 yards, and that was Stephon Green there on the tackle.
Yeah, the Clemson commit, Stephon Green, was a major target for the in-state University of Georgia. Dabo Swinney comes down here and plucks him out. I think 4 defensive linemen or outside linebackers Clemson will ultimately sign if they hold them on from the state of Georgia here, Vic Burley included down there at Warner Robins High School.
Lewis in the backfield. Handoff again to Hicks, and Hicks gets about another 3 yards, and it will be 3rd and 4 as we approach the 2-minute mark.
Number 92, Tyson Brown, the backside end, pursuing really, really hard, making that tackle. I would imagine, knowing Carrollton's coaching staff and how well they are at in-game adjustments, if you keep watching that backside end crash that hard, some action will come off the back end, whether it's the tight end, whether it's Julian Lewis keeping it out of the back. They are not going to allow you to pursue relentlessly off the backside like that.
There's 3 receivers to the outside, looking to Odom. Actually, that was to Hicks. Hicks unable to make the play on the underneath route, and they'll bring up a 4th and 4. We'll see what the Trojans do here.
Good offensive coordinators, Colin, they look for matchups, right? My guy versus your guy. Right there, they loved the matchup of Hicks versus number 15, the linebacker there from Rome High School, Darius Smith. On a halfback angle route, Hicks just slips at the break. Julian Lewis ball not able to connect as we see Carrollton High School's punt unit come onto the field.
This is Andrew Albertus, the punter, going to try to pin Rome inside the 20. He makes the kick, and Height is going to field it. He's at the 15, gets about to the 17-yard line, and that's where the Wolves will start this drive.
All right, minute 30 left here in the third quarter. If you're Rome, hey, you got to sustain some type of drive. I mean, I feel like you've been in your back end the entire second half at this point. Your third possession for Rome here, and you haven't gotten the ball past midfield in the second half. So can we sustain some type of drive if we're the Rome Wolves here?
That was a great job by the Rome defense. Carrollton gets the ball, starts their drive at midfield, forced to punt on a 3-and-out. Offense gets another opportunity here. We got two receivers to the near side, one to the far side. Running back in the backfield for Fountain. Fountain makes the throw. That's Bray, able to make the catch. That's going to be close to a first down, just short.
I love how all these young quarterbacks nowadays, man, they got juice from every degree and angle. If you look back at that throw, Reese Fountain throws that ball like a shortstop throwing it from the side of his ears, completely sidearm, whips it to Will Bray right there. Almost picks up the first down, 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1, and that is two to the outside. Now, a lot of space there on the outside. The handoff is up the middle. That's enough for a first down. That is Armin up the middle.
It's just something to note when you see wide receivers spread their alignment out just a little bit. Hey, just be paying attention. They might be trying to drag you out of the box just a little bit further for a run play right there. As the clock ticks under 30 seconds here in the third quarter, this is potentially our last play of the third quarter. Might be holding them fours up here in a second.
We got two receivers to the near side, one to the far. Fountain takes the snap. Flag on the play. Fountain scrambling. He's going to go down, but we'll check the flag. Maybe an offsides on the Trojans.
I think they're going to get... Yeah, offsides. So it's weird. He motioned or signaled false start, right? He rolled his hands. False starts are dead ball penalties. That play shouldn't happen or shouldn't have happened if the false start was indeed what they called. If they called an illegal formation, you allow the play to happen. Okay, so they called an illegal formation.
Okay.
I don't understand why he's signaling false start, but they call it an illegal formation, so it's not a dead ball foul. You let the play result, and then you give the opposing team the option of taking the penalty or taking the down. Obviously, with the sack there, you take the down.
So the clock is going to roll, and it looks like that is going to be the end of this third quarter. We're heading to a fourth quarter with Carrollton up 16-6. I'm Colin Oakes, joined by Brooks Austin, and we are in for a treat here. Let's see if Rome is able to come back or if Carrollton's able to pull away.
So when we get back, Rome High will be facing a 2nd and 15, okay, down 10 to start the fourth quarter. And they haven't really been able to put together successful drives very often tonight. And their lone touchdown came via William Bray's 53-yard touchdown pass from Reese Fountain, or catch rather. So it hasn't been, hey, we're gonna take 8-9 plays, chunk you up 8 to 10 yards on our way to score. It's been, hey, we're kind of stagnant 53-yard touchdown pass. So if you're Rome High School, man, we've got to design some type of explosive, okay? Because we obviously haven't been able to sustain drives tonight.
I got to say, this
2008 was lit, though. I can't even lie.
This is definitely one of the best high school atmospheres I have ever seen.
So, for those of you listening at home, both of these programs, okay, Rome High School and Carrollton High School, are one of the only 2 or 3, 4 or 5 schools in the state of Georgia that has a full 120-yard indoor facility. It's about a $15 million project sitting on both of these campuses. So when it rains in the state of Georgia, everybody else is going home or going indoors into the gym and practicing with tennis shoes on hardwoods. These two schools got full field turf indoor facilities.
And we are back in action. Start of the fourth quarter. 2nd down and about 15 now Fountain makes the throw, and dropping the ball there was Martavius Collins.
So, I'll tell you, Martavius Collins is a sure-handed tight end. But here's the deal, man. You've thrown him the ball twice tonight. We're at the start of the fourth quarter. The guy hadn't seen a ball since the last time you threw him a corner route in the middle of the first quarter. He's been putting his hands on other people, not putting his hands on the ball. So the first time you give him a shot, if it's outside of his framework, hey, he hadn't caught a ball since warm-ups and pregame, it feels like. So I'm not making excuses for the kid, but it's hard to deliver when you're not being called upon very often.
3rd and 14, not an ideal situation for
you
Rome.
keep pass right here. They're bringing blitz off the edge. Number 8
and
gets the
that's
false
going to
start.
be a false start. Yep, number 8 there, that was
Braden.
Michael Braden, showed blitz, got the offensive lineman to jump, and that's going to back the Wolves up to a 3rd and 19.
So I got one for you while we got a little downtime. Number 51, the Mike linebacker for Carrollton High School, Jacob Levy. Okay, check this out. At the start of fall camp, he was playing nose tackle for Carrollton. They bumped him back to middle linebacker. He's also a nationally acclaimed wrestler. Okay, about 240 pounds playing Mike linebacker out here.
My goodness, and it's 3rd and 19, and Fountain takes the snap, running out of room, unable to find a receiver, but we do have a flag. I think that would be an illegal man downfield. Yes,
it's on the
probably
far side.
Going to be declined by Carrollton.
I'm seeing a bunch of decline signals from the Carrollton coaching staff here. That one going to be waved off, 4th and 20. Rome going to bring the punt unit on, and that's kind of what we've been seeing all night from Rome. They're either an explosive offense or an off-the-field offense. They haven't been able to sustain anything whatsoever.
Rome has not done much here in the second half. Yet to cross midfield on their 4 possessions. Corey Gardhigh is going to make his 4th punt of the second half, and has a very high punt. And that is not. Did he touch it? I don't know what is happening. Carrollton was able to get it.
Didn't look like anybody wanted that football. It's like everybody knew it was a live ball up here in the booth, but nobody on the field looked like they wanted it. 24 from Carrollton ran away from it.
I was going to say,
looked like he was hearing poison getting away from the ball.
Well, you can't yell poison after you touched it. It was very, very obvious that Childers made contact with that, and you're right, that was very odd. That was Zion Cooley, who just acted like the ball wasn't even there, let alone live.
Whew. Carrollton dodges a bullet right there. That would have been Rome's most successful change of possession or change of field position play of the half. Carrollton avoids disaster right there.
So it is 1st and 10 for Carrollton at their own 43. Lewis fakes the handoff to Hicks, makes the throw to Childers out at midfield, 2nd and 3.
May look like just a simple throw, right? But it is a lot of processing going on there pre-snap. Hey, we count the box. They got 7, we got 6 to run. We're going to throw the football out of this look, immediately ride the fake out, get it out quickly to your boy Caleb Odom, or Childers, and let him go to work. Caleb Odom, a name we haven't really called much tonight. I would imagine they dial him up soon.
And the handoff is to Hicks, and Hicks is stopped for no gain, and it'll be 3rd and 3 now for the Trojans.
3rd and a long 3, too, about 3.5 here for the Trojans, right at midfield. Now, you would imagine if you don't pick this up, you're going to punt the football with how your defense has been playing. So what's the playbook look like 3rd and 4? It's been letting Julian Lewis play on time and get the ball out. It's been Hicks out of the backfield, things like that so far.
We got trips to the far side. Screen to Hicks. Hicks is able to bounce off 1 tackle, but not 2, as Green cleans it up. And it is 4th down here for the Trojans.
There's another screen into the short side of the field, right? Brown, number 92, Tyson Brown from Rome, doing a great job pursuing and making the initial hit. Stefan Green doing what he does best, playing with effort and cleaning up the trash and forcing a punt here with 10.5 minutes left as the clock's ticking in the 4th quarter.
This has been a punting contest here in the second half. Only one score. That was a field goal there by Russell, 16-6. Here's Albertus on the punt. Height makes the catch at the 15. It's going up to the outside, unable to gain any yardage.
I hate that. That was a clean block. It just looked too physical is what it was. Look, I understand you can't cut back against the line of scrimmage. You can't block backwards away from the ball carrier. But that was a football play from Rome's punt return unit. They get a big block to spring Martell Height for a good punt return, and it looks like it's going to be coming back. They're going to call, what is it? It equates to an illegal block against Rome High School. It will likely be half the distance to the goal, if I'm correct.
Well, refs still haven't signaled exactly what it is. It's some kind of illegal block.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's half the distance to the goal. Blindside block.
I mean, the guy saw it, man.
It's tough. It's tough. You know, as a player, you're not going to just avoid a block. Like you said, it looked worse than it was.
Colin, I think we've got to get to the point in these types of plays, whether it's targeting in college football, whether it's an illegal block or like that in a punt return situation, we have got to be able to allow referees to apply some common sense. You and I could sit here in the booth and say that was a football play. Mm-hmm. It wasn't he was trying to kill that guy, right? It wasn't malice. It wasn't malintentioned. It was just a football play. If we can keep football plays in the game and rid all the malicious intent plays out of the game, then we've served our purpose. But if we're just not letting guys play a physical brand of football, then we're not playing football.
And here's Fountain in the shotgun, handing it off. That is to Harmon. Or, yes, that was Harmon on the carry.
God, I sounded old right there, didn't I? That's like get off my lawn guy just now.
It's football. You got to let them play football. Might as well put flags on him now.
Let the boys play.
A tough call for the Wolves.
All right, 2nd and 8 here. Again, backed up inside your own 15 or inside your own 10. They've started 2 drives in the second half like this.
Fountain's making the throw, and that is catch right in between the corner and the safety.
That's Martell Height on the reception there. He goes up and catches it. A little bit of a body catch, and he's coming up slow there on the sideline, man. That's not great for Rome High. That's one of their better football players and one of their guys that does everything for them. He plays defense, plays special teams, and obviously is a weapon at wide receiver.
Action still on the field, trips to the near side. Fountain rolls out,
Screen.
Looking back, makes the throw, and that is to Collins. Collins is able to get up about 8, but...
So wait a minute. So we get a block in the back or an illegal block on a punt, but when someone clearly almost tackles someone into the sideline, we don't get a block in the back call from the refs? Whew.
I mean... You ask any player, the one thing they want out of officials is consistency, and that was very inconsistent.
That was far more of a block in the back from 54 there. Screen again.
And this is to Arthur on the screen, and he's able to get through the stream about the 29. So that brings up 3rd down. Be 3rd and 6 for the Wolves.
Martell Height back onto the field for Rome High here on a critical down.
That's very good news because Height was down on the sideline for a while.
They've been an RPO slant and screen team in these situations. Must have passing down situations. And you can tell that Carrollton knows that too. Look at the defensive alignment. Nobody deeper than 9 yards right now from Carrollton. They are walked up and playing it tight.
And here's the snap to Fountain. Fountain makes the throw to Collins, and they're using their tight end up the middle. Got the first down to the 43. Well, it's about time.
He took a big lick there from the backside safety as he finished that play.
Ooh,
and he's going to go down.
Collins is going to take a knee.
Like we're going to get an injury timeout as that's, again, one of the better players for Rome High School down on the ground. I was talking to Rome last year during Martavis's sophomore year, and his offensive coordinator was telling me at game 8, they were playing Cherokee High School at Rome High. And I say, hey, what's the deal with 12? What's going on? He wasn't a commit at this point, right? And he told me, he said, man, this is one of the biggest team guys I've ever coached. And he told me, he said, game 8, the leading pancake blocker on our football team is our tight end in Martavius Collins, because that's the type of effort he plays with in the run game too. So as you see him limp off right there, that's not just one of your better pass-catching weapons, despite the fact that you've only targeted him 3 times tonight. It's also one of your most impactful run blockers as well, going off to the sideline.
I don't think that can be understated or overstated enough, that your leading pancake blockers, your tight end.
Yeah.
That is not a phrase.
Well, it says 2 things. 1, he's really good. 2, you run the ball.
Very fair, yes. But, yeah, we'll hope Collins is okay, as the Rome was finally utilizing him. Took him to the 4th quarter, but now Collins is out on the sideline currently. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Harmon in the backfield. Fountain takes the snap. Taking just a little too much time, and that is Braden on the sack.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to set up a post corner for Martell Height, a double move, their first real shot attempt so far in this second half, and they're not able to get the ball off. Carrollton doing a good job of timing up a pressure right there and getting home for the sack. And now you'll face what is a 2nd and 16 for Rome, and there are not a ton of plays in the playbook for a 2nd and 20, particularly for an offense that hasn't really been able to get out of these situations. Once they've had a negative play tonight, it's almost been end of series, time to punt.
And we are down to 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in this ball game. Rome is running out of opportunities. They can't afford to let drives go to waste. Got to get at least half of it back here. And Fountain is going to make the screen pass. And great job by Harmon breaking the tackle. That should have been no gain, but it went for 8.
What I tell you, Colin, if you want to know what a Power 5 running back looks like tonight, just look at him. There he is, number 10, Harmon, doing a great job of creating yards after contact. If you're going to be a Division I running back, one defender is always yours. They're always going to leave you a defender. So if you don't make him miss, or if you can't make him miss, you can't play on Saturdays. Great job there by Harmon. He's certainly going to be.
And that was huge. If he got stopped where the contact was made,
you got 3rd and 14.
No chance. Now it's at least possible, 3rd and 8. Definitely achievable here. 3
Blitz from the top.
And Fountain makes the throw. The catch is made. That's Daniel. Daniel gets under the defender and down to the 31-yard line.
That was a little cheeky right there from DK Daniel. Gives him the look over his left shoulder like, I'm about to go back in, and then flips back out, rolls sideline, and picks up another 15, 16 yards after the reception. A great play there by DK Daniel.
Gotta say, I've been probably most
Highly
impressed by Daniel this ball game. There are stars on the field, and Daniel is definitely standing out. And we got trips to the far side. That is to the single side. And, they had. And Fountain's going to get sacked. I was going to say they had Height streaking down the middle. And we got the Rome coaching staff in the box next to us, and they saw what we saw. Fountain apparently didn't see it, and he takes the sack.
Again, man, you're not taking a ton of shots at Rome right now. You haven't been trying to get the ball down the field, and the 2 times you go to do it, you give up a sack. The first time because you just didn't have enough time to work the double move. That time because apparently, based off the reaction from Rome High's coaching staff, he completely missed Height running down the sideline, or down on the post, rather.
Height was open for a sure touchdown if the throw was there. But now Fountain's going to make the throw to Daniel. Daniel unable to make the catch, and there is no flag.
That's a really good job there by number 5, Jaden Thompson, the free safety, doing a good job of not panicking when he's in trail position, when you are recovering as a defensive back. As soon as you see that wide receiver's eyes get big, stick your hands up. Don't do anything. Don't touch nobody. Put your hands up. Make it hard for that ball to be completed. That's exactly what the defender did there for Carrollton. Great job by Jaden Thompson saving what would have been likely a touchdown there to DK Daniel.
It's now 3rd and 15 for the Wolves. 6:09 left in the ball game.
2 down territory. You're down 10 points. You are 100% going for it on 4th down here, so you don't have to have a 15-yard play here. Just get 8 to 10.
Fountain takes the snap, and does just that.
perfectly fine. We turned a 3rd and 15 into a 4th and 7. We give our offensive chance here to actually move the sticks.
And Height is shaking up again.
He is cutting through it right now, isn't he?
He is battling for sure.
Collins as well. Collins a little hobbled, it looks like, as he comes to the bottom of the screen and then moves back to the top. 4th and 7 here from Rome. Going to get trips down to the bottom with Martavius Collins in the slot. Okay, a safety on Collins. That might be your mismatch if you're Rome High School.
And Fountain takes the snap, looking that way,
Busted her
throwing
out.
it up, and that Height just couldn't run.
I think, to me, it looked like Height was expecting a comeback at the sticks. Fountain expecting him to go run deep. So, again, a complete miscommunication between Fountain and Martell Height right there. Look, you got to give Height all the credit in the world. He's fighting his guts out here, obviously hobbled and obviously tired, and he goes to run the 12-yard comeback right to the sticks. Fountain doesn't have time to adjust, throws the deep ball as he's getting hit. Turnover on downs. 5.5 minutes left here for Carrollton. Hey, a couple first downs might be your bowl game. I know the clock stops in high school football, but as soon as the chains are set, it's running, and you got a free 40 to work it.
I was going to say, you're right on that with Height. I saw him go down. I thought it was an injury. That was more just defeat, exasperation, whatever you want to call it. And now Carrollton's really just, they could possibly run out the clock with how they've been driving. 5 minutes is very achievable.
I see Bryce Hicks as a football player here at Carrollton High School that is going to gain a lot of steam with college football coaches moving forward. He's simply too much of a portion of this offense. He's getting showcased far too often for college coaches not to find value in what he can provide to your football team on Saturdays.
So the clock is ticking. We're down to 4:45.
A lot of space down here at the bottom. You have to imagine Carrollton's in full-on run mode.
And there it is, handoff to Hicks, and Hicks is going to break it off the tackle to the outside for the first down.
You know, I see a fresh football team from Rome. I don't see a lot of hands on hips. I don't see guys bent over. I see a team that is playing with good effort. They just can't get anybody down right now. 4.5 minutes as that clock is ticking.
Full 30. There's still 25 seconds left on the play clock, so we'll probably have 25 seconds until the snap. No sense of urgency, none needed for Carrollton, up 16-6.
This offense has done just enough to change field position this entire second half for Carrollton.
Here's Lewis, handoff again to Hicks. Hicks finds a gap between the guard and the tackle over midfield, and that
Ball
is
player, man.
very close to another first down.
Absolute football player is Bryce Hicks. He's caught it out of the backfield. He's ran it as a traditional runner. He's lined up as a wide receiver and ran double moves. He has done everything tonight for this Carrollton football team.
That was a gain of 9, so it's now 2nd and 1 for the Trojans. Clock is ticking. We're down under 3:30 now.
What a great learning moment for your quarterback here to get everything right, get you in the correct run read, get your running back shifted, get your motions correct, play this 4-minute drive out and kill this clock.
Handoff to Hicks, but he runs into Green. Stephalon Green on the tackle.
I'm telling you, that dude plays hard, man. If you got to fight against Stephalon Green, you're fighting to the death, okay? Someone's going to get drug out of that ring, and it's probably not going to be him. He's ready to go 4 quarters no matter what.
Stephalon,
up, down, doesn't matter. Stephalon Green going to play like his hair's on fire.
Green made the great tackle, but only needed a yard, did Hicks. Hicks picked it up, is now 1st and 10. And here's a pass to Childers. Screen pass, makes the catch, makes the run. Another first down to the 36.
I can't say enough about Jordan White's performance tonight. He is the main reason that play was his success, and he limps off holding his left shoulder. I saw him holding his left shoulder midway through the second quarter. He is absolutely gutted through this performance to stay on the field and impact this football team in the fourth quarter. That play does not happen if Jordan White's not out on the edge dominating in space.
We're now down under 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. Lewis gets the call.
It's a great point here. When you're Rome High School, you got to start burning some timeouts here, man.
It's got to be on these 3 downs. And going out of bounds.
No need now. They get out of
bit
bounds.
Of a mistake there by Childers.
This is a prime example of Carrollton running their offense. Look, we have built-in RPOs here at Carrollton, says Coach King, I would imagine. So I don't care what the situation is. I don't care what the box looks like. If it says the read is to throw the ball, by God, we're throwing the ball. I don't care if we're up 10 and there's 2 minutes left and we're in 4-quarter kill mode. Now, I would have liked the clock to be running personally, but hey, it's all right. Let your young Q get it after.
So the clock did stop at 2:09. 2nd and 9. Handoff to Hicks. Hicks up the middle. And Hicks is going to get the first, and he's going to get much more. Down to the 5-yard line is Hicks.
Dude is efforting, man. Guys, absolutely getting after it here in the 4th quarter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, as the clock ticks under 2 minutes, is the nail in the coffin. I mean, barring some type of massive change of pace play here, a fumble return for a touchdown, something absolutely drastic for Rome High School, you would imagine that is the ball game right there, even with 1 minute and 49 seconds left. Carrollton with the ball inside the 5. I mean, they could sit on it and knee it. I know Rome has 3 timeouts left, but they're not inclined to use them. Rome hasn't called a timeout yet.
And Lewis is in the shotgun. Hicks is to his left. Handoff to Hicks, and Hicks is going to score. Touchdown. Trojans 22-6.
What an impressive football game for this Carrollton Trojans football team. I mean, clearly the underdog coming into this football game, if you were to talk to the quote-unquote experts, right? A playoff team in Rome, a really experienced football team in Rome with a half a dozen to 2 dozen Division I football players on it. A really young football team from Carrollton High School has played a flawless first half. I mean, they were almost 3 for 3 on their first 3 possessions in terms of points as we see the PAT, and it's up, and it's good. They played a flawless first 3 possessions, and then they were stagnant for 3 quarters, essentially, Colin. And just when they needed a back-breaking score, they drive 65 yards for a touchdown to put the nail in the coffin on this Rome High School football team.
And that drive was mainly all Bryce Hicks. Seth Childers had a couple catches, but Hicks took the bulk of the carries.
Yeah.
Ends it with the touchdown, deservingly so. It is now 23-6. 1:28 left in this game, and it's just a matter of time now.
I'll tell you what. I'll say it. Bryce Hicks, number 3, he's him tonight. That is Himothy. You didn't know what to do with that one, did you, Kyle?
I did not, and I just let it sit. I was going to say Bryce Hicks, right? As of now, his only offer is to Liberty. Expect that to change. Hicks only a junior, so one of those players coming back is going to be a good tandem there. Bryce Hicks, Julian Lewis for the rest of this year and next year. And here's the kick, and that's going into the end zone for the touchback. So Rome will take over at their 25-yard line. It's 23-6 in favor of the Trojans. Going to start at their 20, and we'll see exactly what the Wolves can muster down 3 scores.
All right, 90 seconds left. Okay, you got 3 timeouts. You're down 18 points, 17 points?
17.
The math, not the
I know,
strength.
right?
17 points, so 3-score ball game here. It's essentially over. But great opportunity to practice some 2-minute drill. Okay, maybe practice something that you haven't done a ton in live action and get some reps at it. Put it on film as well. They've conceded here as they bring in the backup quarterback.
Yeah, you gave him a good pep talk, gave him a good, let's go, let's prepare for Pebblebrook, and then they put in their 2s. So there's the snap.
They got themselves a dog fight next week with Pebblebrook, too. Pebblebrook might be the fastest football team in the state of Georgia. Dwight Phillips Jr., check this out, Colin. A 10-200 meter. This summer at Georgia ran a 4.28. The fastest football player in the state of Georgia, perhaps the country, in 2024. That's who Rome's got next week. Can't quite remember who Carrollton's got.
Carrollton, I'll get that to you in a second, but yeah.
I got you right here.
4-8.
Carrollton's got Villa Rica next week. We talked about it.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Big intertown game. Big Carrollton County game.
Going to be at Villa Rica. That's going to be a great matchup. Oh. And that was some kind of contact. I don't know if it was Trojan on Trojan there, but that was
Man, that's the kind of hit make you not want to play football no more.
See, I've always wondered this because you're taught to slide feet first as a quarterback, but that exposes your head.
Well, no, as soon as you go to slide, it's supposed to be dead ball. You're supposed to be giving yourself up.
Well,
I thought maybe it should have been a penalty there. They killed him.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what happened. There's a lot of bodies converging together. We play on 18, 17 seconds.
This poor freshman quarterback probably don't want to snap another ball.
And there's the handoff. Gets the first down over to the 39-yard line, just short of the 40. We got 5 seconds. Clock will stop. Maybe one more play because it was out of bounds, so we got one more play.
I don't know, Colin, but we opened the game. You asked for keys to victory, right? And the number one thing I said for Carrollton, be ready for this moment, right? You're a young football team. This is your first real big football game. And there has to be a sense of doubt, or at least hey, can we do this? Are we ready? They came out here with 100% confidence, and they won this football game. Rome did not lose this football game. Carrollton came out here, was the better football team tonight, and executed and came out with the dub.
Huge win for Carrollton. 23-6 over Rome. Statement made. Don't wait until next year for the Trojans. It's a young team, but they can win this year.
And I think the reason being is they're never going to be a stagnant offense for all 4 quarters, right? Because of a guy like Bryce Hicks who can get them easy yards after the catch and is obviously a really talented runner of the football as well. We don't award player of the games around here at 11 Alive. I know Born to Compete gives out plenty of player of the game awards throughout the week. Bryce Hicks has to be up and available for one. Well over 200 yards of all-purpose yards, I would imagine, tonight. He was essentially their offense for a good portion of the game. And again, like we said earlier, neither one of these teams can, think too much about this football game. Next week, Carrollton goes to Villa Rica, a really, really tough football game. And Rome plays that really, really fast Pebblebrook squad. So 2 really good ball games for both of these teams coming up next week. Yes. I think we're going to try to get an interview with Coach King down on the sideline with Alex. No promises there, but we're working on it. So perhaps. So it looks like I think Coach King going to do the radio network here in Carrollton first. And perhaps we'll get him. Either way, great win tonight for this Carrollton football team. And honestly, Colin, I don't think it happens if they weren't as perfect as they were to open the ball game. So credit to this offensive coordinating staff. They clearly had something in terms of a game plan on those first 3 drives. They walked it down the field. Would have been 3 for 3 for touchdowns, but they fumbled there on the 1 in the first quarter. So hats off to this Carrollton coaching staff, as it looks like we're going to eventually go down to Alex here in a minute. It looks like he might have Bryce Hicks, our player of the game, with him down on the sideline. So we'll check it out as we get our end-of-game stats here from the unit. All right, to close the game, Bryce Hicks does have that 200 total yards. He had 104 yards rushing and 108 yards receiving. I told you, son, I'm good at my job. 208 total yards for Bryce Hicks was essentially the offense. They had 359 total yards of offense, 208 of them coming via number 3. So a great game for Bryce Hicks and this Carrollton offense.
29 touches for Hicks. Leading receiver and leading rusher. 29 touches, offensive touches for Bryce Hicks, 16 for the rest of the team. Final stat line on Julian Lewis. And we're going to be there, but first let's kick it down to Alex and Bryce Hicks.
John Reed is way the other side.
Hey, Michelle, she's got it. It's hers.
This evening, but of course I will be talking to him later this next week, and we'll go over all of those things. Excuse me.
Actually, call her back and give me a countdown when Alex is throwing back to me, please. Sorry, I know I'm bossing you around. I just can't hear them.
Just couldn't ever seem to get on track. Their best 2 drives there in the second quarter, the Wolves got inside the red zone twice and were not able to come away with points in either of those. That honestly was a big turning point in the game. And then
That's a fantastic football game, 23-6. I got my guy Bryce Hicks here with me. Bryce, fantastic ball game. Tell me about it.
Hey, we knew we were playing wrong, so we knew it was going to be a tough 4-quarter ball game. But we just had to come out and execute. Team did good, so come out with the win every time.
I'll tell you what, man, this defense here, everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about that front 4, right? But let's just talk about that offensive line, because I know you want to talk about them. Let's talk about that offensive line being successful and helping you get running lanes so you can get some yards.
Yeah, I'm proud of my O-line. I feel like I got the best O-line in the state. Everybody been doing all this talking about how good 91, 92 that O-line is. I mean, that D-line is. They are pretty good, but, you know, we've been working all week, so, yeah.
Last question, man. You got a freshman. You got a freshman back there, quarterback. Talk about his composure and just doing what was asked of him to help you guys win.
Hey, man, Ju, I love him. I play a lot of good quarterbacks. He just adding on to the list. He taking this starter varsity role as a freshman real good. I talk to him all day, make sure he cool. He come in here, take a hit. You won't even tell it phase his game. So, and just the whole country waiting on him to fall, but he doing good. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, known him for a long time, man. Good to see him doing his thing. 23-6, Carrollton with the win over Rome. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Go. And that will do it for us here at Grisham Stadium. Final score 23-6. I'm Colin Oakes, joined by Brooks Austin. Austin, any final thoughts?
I was about to say, before we leave, we got another great football game for you guys next week here live on 11 Alive from Milton High School as Milton tries to get in the win column against crosstown rival Roswell High School, who's got a dynamic offense. So if you want to see some points put up, see us next week, 11 Alive here, 7:30. For Brooks Austin, for Colin Oakes, see you guys next time.